Alright, you battlers, you know what it is, JayDevin back at it with another Go Battle League video. So for today's video, I'm going to be going over my top favorite Pokemon for Go Battle League to actually use Elite TMs on. And specifically, that's going to be over what's, at least as far as I know, unless I missed some kind of update or if I missed the memo, I think the only things we can actually use Elite TMs on that have official confirmation are raid exclusive and community day exclusive moves. So a while ago I actually made a graphic on these Pokemon, and it's kind of a pain to look at now that I look at it again, honestly, so it probably needs to be updated, but basically it's just like a reference for what Pokemon are included in that list of raid exclusive and or community day exclusive. And you know, obviously it's not exactly like an evergreen graphic, right? Because we're always going to get more of them. And obviously it's already outdated because Lugia was canceled essentially. So we still don't have Aeroblast, unfortunately. And yeah, if you wanted the quick update too on my Go Battle League, it's honestly what keeps happening is I'm getting my butt kicked by this core of lead with any one of these things, but the best buddy Dialga with the Giratina origin, and then the Melmetal. Like, I'm seeing that left and right, and you know, every time as soon as I'm approaching 2900, I run into that team and I just get stomped by it. Unfortunately, it is a very BBML team. It's a very, very meta team. I hate running into it. It's very hard to counter, but you know, the meta is the meta for a reason. I'm not going to lie, if I had a Giratina origin maxed out and double moved, I would also be running that team myself, but I still also need a double move on my Dialga. I only have Iron Head right now, so since I can't really do that right now, what I'm working on specifically is a team that can reliably counter that team, and they can counter it consistently while also being able to handle the off-meta teams and or the anti-meta teams like the Rhyperior teams, etc. That's kind of what I'm working on. So if I find it out tonight and it works, that's going to be tomorrow's upload. So look forward to that. But this is basically kind of like another one of my favorite videos and or a favorite list of Pokemon to use these Elite TMs on. So that, I mean, there's so many options, right? Between all the starters, you can do the Blast Burn on the fire starters, Frenzy Plant on the grass, Hydro Cannon on the water. There's a lot of options to consider here. Really, the first one and the number one on my list obviously is going to be Psystrike from Mewtwo for the Masters League. The moveset I'm going to be going for is Cycle Cut, Psystrike, and then Shadow Ball. There is, I guess, arguments for running Psystrike. Cycle Cut, Psystrike, and then Focus Blast because of all the double steel teams like that Dialga, Melmetal, Giratina Origin team. And I would say, you know, that is viable. I don't think it's bad. I would just prefer having the Psystrike Shadow Ball. It's just a personal preference. But then the other two, I think there's going to be about 4 or 5 on this list. So the next one is going to be obviously one of my all-time personal favorites. It's going to be Zapdos. I want a Zapdos with Thundershock in the Great League because they were raid exclusive. It's currently impossible to have a Thundershock Zapdos in the Great League, and it's also currently impossible to have a Sky Attack Moltres in the Great League. So yeah, the Zapdos with Thundershock in the Great League is probably going to be my number 2 and or my second priority for that. The moveset I would go for, especially since Ancient Power was nerfed, is probably going to be Thundershock, Drill Peck, and then Thunderbolt. It could be a very anti-meta. You could probably form an actual anti-meta team around a Thundershock Zapdos in the Great League. It's still really, really squishy, so it's not the best pick, but it's something I've wanted for a long time now, almost a year, probably over a year. But yeah, the next one on that list, I already mentioned it, but it's going to be the Sky Attack Moltres for Great League. It's really kind of a toss-up for me as to whether I would go Wing Attack Sky Attack or Fire Spin Sky Attack, but you know, really you could go either way, but nonetheless I'd recommend going with Sky Attack and then Overheat as the charge moves unless we get a better fire charge move in the future for Moltres. Yeah, okay, so wait, what do I have so far? Psystrike, Mewtwo, Thundershock, Zapdos, Sky Attack Moltres. What would be next? Man, I guess it depends on like how quickly we can get TMs really, and like and how often we can actually get them. It's kind of an easy one actually. The next one on the list for me is going to be Ice Beam on a Lapras. So actually probably Ice Shard and Ice Beam on one, because I have a Great League Lapras built that's double move that has Dragon Pulse, but it is a Lapras that has Water Gun and then Surf as the other charge move. So I really would like to have a Great League Lapras that has Ice Shard, Ice Beam, and then Dragon Pulse. I don't know that you would want that specific moveset though. Maybe I'd want to go Ice Shard, Surf, and then Dragon Pulse. Yeah, let's stick with that. Ice Shard, Surf, and then Dragon Pulse is the way I'd want to go with that. I definitely would not want to go Ancient Power on a Mamoswine. That was nerfed, and I really don't feel like it's good to begin with, to be to be honest. Oh man, above and beyond those, like, I don't know, I don't really care too much about all the other picks, mostly because I already have all the other picks. Realistically, the next one is not necessarily to counter the meta or to be, you know, some kind of big play in a PvP. This is just like a personal preference or personal favorite, just something I want maybe as a collector. But I do want a Great League Shiny Draco Meteor Dragonite. So I'd want one Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw, and then Draco Meteor. It's all because I don't already have one. I mean, I have some Shiny Dragonites in the Great League, but they don't have Draco Meteor, unfortunately. I missed out on it. And also, like, I think I have one. No, I think I only have 1 or 2 normal Dragonites that have Draco Meteor in the Great League, and their PvP IVs are just terrible. So long term, I guess for me, that's a dream to have a great PvP IV Shiny Draco Meteor Dragonite in the Great League. Yeah, so that's it, I think. So we have this Ice Strike Mewtwo, Thundershock Zapdos, Sky Attack, Moltres, Ice Shard Surf, and Dragon Pulse Lapras, and then the Shiny Great League Draco Meteor Dragonite. Yep, that's pretty much it. I mean, so I guess on this list, you know, what are you going to go for on this list? I imagine a lot of the answers will probably be the same thing, to be honest. I would like to say that, you know, when I hit rank 10, I'm going to have the Flying Press Pikachu Libre, and then I'll double move it and then use the Charge TM to give him Surf in the future. So we did Thundershock Surf Flying Press. Max it out. I don't know. I guess that could be fun as well too. That'll count on the list. But yeah, that's the entire list for me. I think what I need to be doing in Go Battle League right now to reliably counter this team while also being able to reliably counter the rest of the meta is not to have a team that's too anti-meta, because, you know, a lot of other off-meta and or anti-meta teams, if you go really anti-meta, they'll probably just end up countering you, you know, because when you run into meta teams, that's what you want with an anti-meta team. You know how to counter it and you're waiting on it. But if you run into an anti-meta team, like, you know, if I open up with Snorlax, for example, trying to catch a Giratina Origin, and I run into another anti-meta team, and they open up with, you know, Machamp or Conkeldurr, like, it's actually happened before. It's nuts. So those are the things that I'm trying to, like, work around and trying to figure out my way to maneuver to actually hit rank 10, because, again, you know, I don't have the maxed out Giratina Origin. I don't even have one double moved right now, so for me to run that core of Best Buddy, Dialga, Giratina Origin, and Melmetal, it's simply not possible. I did actually invest into a Master League Melmetal very recently. It is a 98% with only 14 attack, unfortunately, so I think it might miss out. I don't think it misses out on any, like, break points or anything like that. You're definitely going to lose the mirror most of the time if they have 15 attack, because you're going to lose the charge move priority, but really just to have them as the coverage, right, against the potential Togekiss, and having the superpower available for the Dialga is what it's all about with the Melmetal. And you know, also, if you work it out correctly, you can still counter a Melmetal with 15 attack too. It just depends. My performance has been pretty good with Melmetal so far. Like the set that's being featured while I'm recording this was, I believe, is a 4-in-1. It was either a 5-0 or a 4-in-1, and it was the first set ever that I actually used Melmetal. I do like it a lot. It's kind of risky, I feel like, to use, because I really love lately leading with Togekiss, but when I do that and bring Melmetal, like if I see a Kyogre, which is, you know, a couple videos ago, or maybe even last video, I said I'm not really seeing any Kyogres, and now I'm just running into Kyogres all over the place. So yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be using, I don't know, it's really a toss-up. With all the presence of Kyogre though, I guess that's a good note to end the video on, is I would not have more than one thing on your team for Go Battle League in Master League that is potentially really weak to Kyogre, right? It's not a good idea. I'm seeing a lot more Kyogre. But yeah, that is it for this video. So let me know what you think about what Pokemon you would pick and or use Elite TMs on in the comments below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you feel my vibe. Power punch the notification bell for all that PvP content. And we'll see you in the next video, battlers. Have a good stinking day.